What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'll break down what's happening with the overall market thus far, what's going on with other big pieces of news coming out for tomorrow that's going to affect the markets, what you should be watching for, as I have a very important warning for everyone. But before I get the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them. And the offer ends very soon in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the markets. Looking at Tesla, this thing's trying to rebound right over here, holding the support and trying to get bought back up for the last couple of hours. We saw another leg up after we got some more interesting reports from our auctions, not to mention more speeches from these Fed speakers. But the main thing is Tesla's trying to push up alongside the overall market, and that is awesome to witness, at least for the time being. There is more potential for us to go higher, but I want to give you guys another warning about the future because tomorrow we have something else coming out that's going to affect us. So in terms of data, we don't have really like too much data coming out, just like export prices and import prices. Nothing too crazy coming out for the morning, and we just have Michigan consumer sentiment data. However, I do want to call out that we have something else coming out, and that's going to be for Friday. We have JP Morgan Chase announcing earnings alongside Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citi, Progressive, and the list goes on. So the big earnings are about to start kicking off. Earnings season is starting again for the first quarter of 2024. This is going to be very important. So the earnings come out before the market opens tomorrow. So if you're holding any positions, we have about 1.5 hours left of market trading, a little bit more than that for the day. If you're holding any positions you want to hold overnight, you have to hold through these earnings. If the earnings are not the best, the market could sink again. If the earnings are decent, the market could squeeze again even higher. So we'll just have to wait and see what these earnings look like to see what the big move is going to be. So these earnings are going to be very important. We'll see if this helps the market launch even higher again. We have to be paying very, very close attention to all of this. And we will see if this leads to any more crazy volatility. So that's going to be very, very key. If you hold any positions overnight, you have to hold through the earnings. That is my warning for everyone. You want to be very, very careful when doing so. If not, if you're not too worried and you think the market may maintain this structure, you're going to be completely fine. You could always make lots and lots of money anyways. So I just want to give you guys a warning about that. For Tesla, there's this news that came out that Tesla's releasing more details on the Powerwall 3, confirming cheaper stacks are basically coming, which is like a good piece of news for them. This is going to be very useful for installations in the USA, and this is going to be very, very important because it's launching around September time, and this could affect their sales and such. So very, very interesting stuff for them. New updates to the Powerwall, and this is going to be even more effective than the previous report, as you guys can see right here. The load start capability is going to be up by 75%, not to mention even more maximum continuous power. So it's a lot more efficient, a lot more powerful. This update is going to be very, very useful. So that's a big piece of news. Besides that, I went over the other pieces of news about the big banks kind of downgrading Tesla. Tesla kind of priced this in already in the daytime. That's why we got that dip. But now we're getting bought back up amidst this anticipation of the big bank earnings. So what do I see from here for the share price? Once again, right now, Tesla's looking bullish because we got back up above this high right here. We also broke back above our EMAs. So watch 175 as resistance. If we manage to break through 175 later on, we have 177.6 to 178 coming. If we come back down, make sure you watch 172.8 basically as our key support. And then if we lose that, 170.5 is a real possibility. Overall, we're trying to push higher. There is potential for this to continue to go higher, so watch for that resistance on Tesla, and it could continue to push and try to fill this imbalance if we end up breaking through 175. So it's looking bullish right now for the time being. But even though it's looking bullish, let me just give you a warning. There's no guarantee this is going to continue tomorrow. It depends on the bank earnings. Maybe they launch Tesla higher and we continue to go closer to 180, or maybe the opposite happens. We get another rug pull. Always be prepared for anything just to be safe. And if you're holding overnight, know the risk, as it's very important to do so. For SPY, this looks bullish because we've broken past 518. Now we're trying to push for the resistance at 520 to fill this imbalance. We have support currently at 517 point, excuse me, 517.8, 517.5, 516 and 515 is all supports. If we lose 515, we could sink all the way back down here. But overall, it's holding up very nicely. It has potential to go higher towards 520. We're seeing a lot of buyers stepping in, and this could continue higher depending on the bank earnings. If the bank earnings launch the market higher, SPY could easily start pushing up towards 522 all over again. If the bank earnings cause a rug pull, we can start sinking. We'll see what they end up causing as they come up before the market opens tomorrow. So once again, if you're holding overnight, it's your choice, but you'll have to hold through the earnings. We will see what they end up causing for the market. So be open minded, prepared for anything. As of right now, the market looks a little bit more on the optimistic side. For the QQQ, it's the same thing. I told you all that the QQQ is showing more life than SPY in my early video, that it could push higher towards 442. If that broke, watch 444. We're actually above all of these resistance levels, and we're approaching 446 to 446.8, this next resistance zone. If it breaks this, our next target's all the way up to 448. So the QQQ is looking very bullish, very, very strong right now, trying to break out. And we'll see if we can try to make our way up to 446. We're getting very close to that resistance. We also have this imbalance acting as resistance, so it's like around 445.3, very close to that range. If we break through that, watch 446, 446.8, then 448. So far it's showing life and has more potential to push higher. For support, make sure you watch 444. If we lose this, we could sink to 442. But so far, this is favoring the bulls and it's trying to push even higher. Why is it doing that? Because Nvda is on a breakout. I said in my video, Nvda looks bullish. I was looking for 885 or so, if not 892. Instead, we went all the way up to 900. So it's even harder than what I was expecting. But still, it's pushing up nicely, trying to get back up to 900. If we break this, watch 908 as critical resistance. So far, Nvidia is showing strength, is showing some life, and could push even higher. For Aapl, we actually got a breakout on Aapl as well after bullish news came out. We're now above 172.5. And with that being said, we've officially broken past this resistance from here, and we're approaching the highs that we saw back near the end of March, around 173.5. So watch that resistance at 173.5 to 174. This entire range right over here. If we break through 174, watch 175. And then above that, we have 175.75 and then 176.5. Some resistance levels worth watching for. But for now, Aapl is showing strength, and this thing could push even higher from here. So I'm looking at some more potential in this chart. We'll have to see if Aapl continues to break out, but if anything, this is helping the SPY and the QQQ to a much larger extent. So I'm going to draw this out as resistance right over here and kind of like delete the other one so you guys can see this zone right here. It's a little bit better looking. If we come back down, watch 172.5 is critical support, but as of right now, we favor the bulls, could push even higher nonetheless. On top of all of this, I want to call out Super Micro. Trying to push higher, it has more potential, forming a nice accumulation structure. We could go all the way up to 960 if we end up getting another breakout continuation. It's kind of slowing down a bit, but it could try to push higher later on. For Amazon, we're getting a breakout. We've broken past the 188 resistance, so our next target is 190. Could we get up to 190? I could see that coming. So look for a big push on Amazon. 190 is likely on the cards. Meta is also trying to push a little higher. We could be looking for 525 later on. So I'll be watching for that as well. And Meta trying to push higher towards 429. So we'll see how that goes. The VIX is now coming back down to our 200 EMA, so we'll have to see how this holds up. If we lose this, we could start sinking lower on the VIX, which is once again part of why the market's pumping, which is part of why this is happening. But the VIX is still on an uptrend. We'll have to see if the market continues to break out and if it causes the VIX to change its trend. So we're going to be very patient with this and give this the time it needs. But with that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you, and peace out.